leaders of the world, can anybody just tell me that anybody can do whatever they want in this world? We need this world to be a safe world. I want to thank everybody for being here and listening to me. My name is Aviva Siegel. I'm 62 years old. I was born in South Africa and came to live in Israel when I was 9 years old. I'm married to Keith. He's American. We have 4 children and 5 grandchildren. I'm standing here and cannot believe that I'm still alive to tell my story. I live on Kibbutz Kfar Aza for more than 40 years. It's a small community where everybody knows each other. In Kfar Aza, on the 7th of October, there were 63 people murdered. Parents were shot in front of their kids. Babies were left alone after them killing their parents until the owner came for hours. People were found dead while they were hugging each other. People were burned alive. I was kidnapped from my house with Keith in a brutal way. Keith was thrown on the ground, breaking his ribs. The terrorists pushed us, pulled my hair, shot us around us, and shot Keith's hand. And I'm the only one that took care of Keith. I came back from Gaza after 51 days of hell. I never thought that I'll see my kids again. I never thought that I'll see the ocean again. I never thought that I would have a warm shower again. The terrorists told us that Israel does not exist. They told us that the whole world is bombing Israel. I want to tell you about a few moments that were very hard for me. One of the times they took us down to a tunnel. It was 40 meters below surface. We were there for 4 days and with almost no water and no food. We got to the point where we not even were able to say a word because we did not have oxygen to breathe. The terrorists just left us there because it wasn't comfortable for them because there was no oxygen and they felt it, so they just left us. Keith looked at me and said, I feel that I can't breathe. And I saw that he was, and I was also doing that. And I told Keith, just lie down. Everything's going to be okay. Just breathe. And he helped me, and I helped him. And that's what we did all the time. When the terrorists came to take us, we both felt we were nearly dead. One day they told the 3 hostages, girls that are young, to take a shower. But they told them to leave the door open, that they could watch them. These are girls that have never showed anybody their body, and they were so embarrassed. One of the days, the terrorist called one of the girls, and when she came back, I could see on her face that something happened. I took her for a hug. I felt like a mom, and I was looking after her. He started screaming at us, "What are you doing?" Because we knew we weren't allowed to hug. But I decided to do that, even though I knew he would scream at us. After a few hours of everybody knowing that something happened, and she hardly spoke, she came to me, she looked at me in my eyes, and she said, "He touched me." And we cried together. One other day, they told Keith to get into the shower. He was there for a while. When he came back, he was so humiliated. They told him that he has to shave his whole body. They shaved him, looking like an Arab. and shaved underneath his arms, and that he needs to shave his private place. He was so embarrassed because they made a joke out of him. They didn't stop laughing. One of the days they took one of the girls out of the room and then brought her back and told her to get dressed. We used to get dressed in clothes like Arabs to walk around Gaza and to be moved. And she turned around to tell us that she's scared that they're going to take her away from us and that she will go by herself. He pulled her hair, he threatened her with a gun, he pushed her, she fell, and she was very scared. He took her to the room next door while the door was open, covered her with a blanket, handcuffed her, and four of them, the terrorists, hit her. One was walking around with a stick, hitting everything that he could, just to show us that he's in charge. We weren't in charge of anything. Everything we did was told to do, and we listened to them. When she came back, she was wet and she was red all over. The handcuffs left signs on her hands for at least 5 days. And I asked her, how come you were so quiet? And she said, I didn't want to give them the pleasure of them hurting me, so I kept quiet. I think for 3 days nobody spoke. Everybody there was just so depressed. It was terrible. I'm standing here and sharing my story because I believe that you can all do something. I believe that everybody needs to make this world a good place, a better place for everybody to live in. And please do everything you can to stop this madness. And please help bring Keith and all the hostages home. I believe that all the leaders in the world want the best for their country. All the mothers in the world want the best for the children. I want the best for my husband and for all the people in the world. No girls should be touched without permission. No husbands, wives, children, grandparents need to go through hell like I did. I was in the worst place ever, with no oxygen, starved, thirsty, sitting in the dark, threatened for 51 days. I would like to ask you all, how do I continue, knowing that Keith is still there and going through hell? My heart can't handle this. Please help.